and welcome to Python Programming Complete course. This is part 2, Fundamentals of Python. In this video, we will discuss variables, its data type, what are keywords, expressions and operators, and how to accept input from the user. When we are writing a program, we are working with values. We take input from the user, we provide the output, the final result of the calculation. So to store those values, we need some storage place. So in Python, we have variables that are the containers that store the value in computer's memory. To use variables in Python, we simply have to type the name of the variable and assign a value to it. For example, in this file we create a variable x and we do not have to tell the data type of the variable. We simply can assign a value to it. For example, if I write x equal to 100, so x is the variable and we have assigned a value of 100 to x. Equal to is the assignment operator. Now when we are using variables, those variables have some naming rules, that it can start with an alphabet or an underscore. The variables which we create, they are case sensitive, that is small x is different from capital X. They cannot be a keyword, they cannot contain spaces, and the variables which we define, they are a combination of letters, digits and underscores, and definitely they cannot have spaces in between those letters and digits. We have a variable x with a value of 100, and if we want to print the value of x, we can simply use the print function and run a program. You can see the value of 100 being printed. Moving on to data types. Variables have a data type. We do not specifically write the data type of the variable, but whatever value is being assigned to the variable, it holds, it has that particular data type. So the type of value that is stored in a variable, or which a variable holds, and what kind of operations are allowed on that variable determine the data type of the variable. There are different types of data types. We have numbers, we have string, boolean is there. Now string itself is divided into various type. Number is divided into categorized into integer, float and complex. We have boolean type of data type. We have none data type, that is the absence of value, the no value is being assigned. So a number 100 is being assigned to x, so it is of integer type. If I write y equals to 23.45, so y is of float type. Similarly, if we write z equals to, within quotes I write hello, so x is of string type, and we can print these values. Like for example, we have written print x, we can write print y, we can write print z, and if we run this program, you can see the result 23.45 and hello. Now we can have different types of data type. We can have boolean. If I write something like print 10 greater than 100, we are saying ki 10 is 10 greater than 100. We can store this expression in a variable and then print, or directly also we can print and see the result. Here you can see false, 10 is not greater than 100. So true and false is the boolean value. We know that we are assigning these values to the variables, and those variables are having that particular data type. But if you want to specifically see what type of data is being associated with a variable and what is its data type, like we will be writing programs, and in the program you need to check the data type of a variable, then we have a type function which can be used to determine the type of value a variable holds or it points to. Like for example, if we say somewhere here, if we write print, we know that x is of integer type, and I write print type of x. We are trying to print the type of x. Let's run. You can see it is of class integer, it is of integer type. Similarly, if I write type, whatever type, this is of boolean type, we already know it is of boolean type, and if I try and run, so false is of boolean type, so it is returning boolean type. Now inside we have the print function and we have the type function. One function can be used inside the other function. We can have nesting of function. As an on we start writing the programs, we will come across these terms. While defining variables and assigning values to it, I said we cannot have keyword as the name of a variable. So what are keywords? Keywords are the reserved words used by Python. These words have special meaning and cannot be used as a name of a variable. To display the names or display the list of the keywords, we need to import a module. I have a program in place where I have written import keyword. You need not worry about importing, we'll discuss later. And to display the entire list of keywords, I have written keyword.kw list. Let us run this program, and you can see in the terminal all the keywords which are present in Python. You have false, true, and if, while, all these are the reserved words or the keywords. When we are writing programs, we perform different kinds of calculations on the data which we take from the user or whatever constants we are using. Like in maths, here also we have expressions and operators. So what are expressions? Expressions are the combination of values, constants and variables, and the operators using which we form an expression. For example, we have these two values x, and we have two variables x and y, and some value is being assigned to it, and we use it for calculation. For example, we have the value of x, we have the value of y, and we add these two values together, so we'll get a result. So this x plus y, it's an expression where we are trying to add to the values of two variables. If I run, we'll get the answer as 123.45. Similarly, we can write something like print 10 into 2 plus 4. This is also an expression where we are trying to add values. We can have something like print x plus 34 minus y. This is also an expression where we are trying to do some calculation using the constants and the variables. We are making use of these operators. Now what are operators? They are the special symbols which represents computation. They can be applied to values, as in this case 10 into 2 plus 4 minus in plus and minus we are using. They can be applied to values, they can be applied to variables to solve an expression. Now these operators, they are categorized as arithmetic operators, relational operators, logical and assignment operator. Equality is the assignment operators. You have plus, minus, multiply, divide, modulus operators as arithmetic operators. We use less than, greater than, equality, these are all relation operators. We have logical operators like and, or, and not. So if we execute this program, if I run this program, we'll get the result. The first one, x plus y is 123.45. This expression, we use the BODMAS rule. So 10 into 2 is 20 plus 4, 24. And the last one here, the addition is being done and then the subtraction. Same rule is being followed. This is a program where we are defining the variables and assigning values to the variable. Now take for instance, we are writing a program where we need to accept data from the user. For this purpose, we need a function which can get the data at runtime from the user. So we have a function named input function which accepts data in the form of strings and can and then you can print the data which is which you have accepted from the user. Now calculations cannot be performed on the data which we get using the input function. We'll see a simple example and then we see how conversion can be done. This is a simple program where we are trying to make use of the input function. So we have a variable name, and we are asking to input the name or to enter the name using the input function. So input will accept the input and from the user and store it in the variable name. Then we are printing the name on the terminal. We are also accepting age from the user using the input function. Let us execute this program. Your name please. I have entered my name. It is displaying the message from this second line print. My age, I enter my age and it has displayed the age. Let us make some modification to our program and try. I said okay, whatever input we are taking from with the help of the input function, no calculations can be performed on it. Let us add 10 to this age and execute the program and see what result do we get. My name, it is giving me an error that it cannot add a string and a number together. So the input which you take from with the help of the input function, it is in the form of a string and we cannot add a string and the number together. So there is one more function named int function which converts the data which we accept with the help of input function, the string type of value, into numeric value. So simply while using the input function, if you want to convert it, you can write int to your value which you are accepting using the input function. So we have written int, whatever value is being accepted as a string, it will be converted into int using the int function and it will be assigned to the variable age. Now let us run this program and see the answer. You can see this time we did not get any error and the answer is being displayed in the terminal. You can make modifications to your program. You can instead of writing int at this particular junction you can write int while doing the calculation. Both the ways are correct. You can see one line in this program with the first line hash accepting name. Now these lines, they are the lines which start with hash. These are the comments. Comments are the statements which are written in the program to make them readable, and they are not executed or ignored by the Python interpreter at runtime. Like for example, we were running this program, so accepting name and accepting age, they were not displayed while executing the program. So these are the comments. We can have multi-line comments as well. If I want to have multi-line comments, I can write 3 quotes and I can start and I can end wherever I want. So this is the comment in my program. I have started it and I have ended it. While executing, it will not display this. When we are writing programs in Python, we make use of indentation. Now, indentation is the shifting of a statement to the right of another statement. In Python, when we are writing codes in Python, we do not have braces which indicate a block of code like in other programming language. We cannot tell that these statements or these blocks of code are associated with a loop or with a construct. Or when we are making use of functions, indentation are very helpful, that we can tell that these particular lines are associated with a function. So what we simply have to do is we simply have to shift the data. Since we are not making use of loops and constructs over here, so you will not be able to understand what is being done. But when we are working with loops and conditions in the next video, it will be very helpful to understand that why we are shifting these statements towards the right. So shifting of the statements towards the right and making them as a block of code is known as your indentation. Let us look at another program, an addition program, where we are entering, we are asking for 2 numbers, number 1 and number 2, and storing it in 2 variables, num1 and num2, converting them into integers using the int function. You can see we are adding them together, storing the result in the variable sum, and then displaying the result. Let us execute this code. We have to enter the first number and the second number, and we got the result. Another way of doing the addition is directly, you can see the second line which I have commented. We can, instead of storing the value in another variable, we can directly write it as num1 plus num2, and the expression itself in the print statement, it will also give us the result. So in this video we have discussed all these topics, like what are variables, data type. We did discuss 2 small programs, how to enter or get input from the user, and to do calculation, addition of 2 numbers. Plus we have also discussed how to use comments and indentations in our program. If you have any queries, do write in the comment box. In the next video we will discuss conditions and looping constructs in Python. Stay tuned for upcoming videos, and thank you for watching.